At this point, I'd ask the question just so we can find out who's going to win. Okay, I go the opposite of what we say. That's the way to describe this action right now. We're going to have two insanely crippled heroes.
Look at their levels. I mean, Enchantress has 20 experience, and so does the Bounty Hunter. They shared one small
General,
creep.
is this the first blood? It should be. Polarity catching out the Bat Rider.
At least he got level 2, which means he has some possibility of...
Artstyle. Gonna get rid of the Tornado now. He's got a double damage rune. He doesn't actually have, like, Fairy Fire, and the Sunstrike's coming in from Dendy. In case Appa was gonna chase it down, but Enchantress, well, welcome to the game. Enchantress is back in the game now.
Take General's place in this hell of an offlane. Get some levels and Artstyle, all banned.
Fortune's End's coming his way. So one bomb, there's the Centaur, there's the Tomato Smasher, and they actually make it so Appa gets the last hit with the Lance, and he'll also get the Bounty Rune on top river. Is she gonna... Okay, he caught the edge of a little moving over. So if they want to, Diddy Ra, you actually have Wrath of Nature up. So you can give this a shot, the Observer Ward will be placed, and Snako, well, he should have been aware of this. And now they trigger up the dust. Snako's in trouble. The Void comes out. There's no impetus damage, but it still should be enough to get through Snako. He goes into the tree lines, goes invis, but still affected by dust. The Sunstrike Phobos will actually run around it. Almost looked like his wing was going to clip that for a point.
Quite lacking. Lina and Bounty Hunter, how do they get levels? I mean, the laning phase is coming to a close right now.
Here they go. Having a crank over on the Oracle. That Sunstrike, in fact, because of the turn from the Oracle, he's going to end up... No, he doesn't survive. Dendy has enough damage, and the Bounty in the middle of this. Afro charging forward. Diddy Ra needs to TP out, but the Omni-Slash damage, it'll be enough to get the kill onto Diddy Ra before he can be successfully out. Well, as Dendy both go minus, they must really be going for a big mid-game play. They're going to have little presence early on. Snako actually got dust at that time. They caught a glimpse of him at the end. Darkness will now trigger by Phobos as he runs forward. They reveal on Snako. There's your Void. He'll go back in. Viz, the dust going to wear off in half a second time, but the Urn will ensure the kill. Meanwhile, Artstyle just dying up on top lane.
Yeah, I think if both Invoker and Nature's Prophet go for the Midas, the problem.
They didn't realize the Observer Ward was placed. It was Diddy Ra farm. So Diddy Ra got silenced up, so he couldn't just TP out, allowing the rest of the Enchantress army to move over. So Midas may be up, but NaVi, like, they're bleeding money.
The bigger issue is how they're gonna, contest whatever Polarity wants to do, which is like this. They're gonna just run at people, and if you're Invoker and...
Well, the answer is you don't. Like, Artstyle again, just... Like, you're not even gonna gain anything from that. You've got General on the bottom lane still desperately trying to scramble his Blink Dagger, Minion army to force into the tower. Wait until you get Nagadim's as well as a gem over on Polarity. In fact, it looks like they already saw Snako running in. The dust is triggered, and it's a solo kill for Oracle.
Yeah, rough life.
General's trying to get Afro.
And yeah, it looks like Polarity are not going to give up this tower.
General dead.
Yep.
He's actually baiting him to go for the last two. Artstyle, nice double light strike array. With a follow-up Laguna, they end up getting a 1-for-1 trade-off. Sunstrike also going to connect on top of Phobos. Artstyle, he's sticky about turning for another light strike array, but Pasha, they need to isolate him inside that Sprout. Snako's here as well, so they attack him down, but now Phobos comes into the fight. With the extra support arriving in from Oracle, they'll end up killing off Diddy Ra. And looking for another target.
Going ham, he's just gonna hunt down all these squishy supports. Even Nature's Prophet is kind of...
Is General dead? I think General's dead. The Lance is forward, they charge after him. Diddy Ra tries to create a little bit of space here with the Sprout, so General can get up the hillside, but then he's also back in range of Phobos, who's now also in range of the Juggernaut. He doesn't have mana for that Omni-Slash for another, 3 seconds, as Dendy runs away. Now Omni-Slash is up, slices around as she bounces off Dendy, back into the creep wave. The Laguna Blade will actually help to get that kill off, but Artstyle trapped in. There's way too much damage driving for Polarity, not to mention the survivability. They take 4 heroes. Denny was only lucky to survive thanks to a bad jump for the Omni-Slash.
A wash of a lane. Soccer's pretty happy, and I mean the Juggernaut was free farming, and they could have maybe done something to make sure that General was going to be able to lane. Like have a bounty hunter there early on because Lena was covering for. Oh,
You've seen your last
That's just easy. It is out there hunting with everybody else, like comboing with already your great mid lane that happened. Oh, man.
oh, nice.
General can't even get a lasso off. False Promise is just way too good. And Oracle, at least he's stuck inside the tree lines. That Sunstrike's coming in. And Arstal, he's still got Laguna Blade. He's looking for a better target. He actually ends up just triggering it over on the Oracle to ensure they get something out of this.
wings of the night.
And
He's going to Laguna Blade himself. They're making a play for Afo with this smoke. General, however, has too many targets to choose from. They ping out because Afo actually moved himself away from the rest of his illusions. They do get the wait.
oh man.
No! Afo was protected! This was the issue we're talking about during the drafting phase as well, where Afo, with the help of an Oracle, Alina is terrible against it, and Pasha comes in from behind with Phobos. They get the kill onto Artstyle. That's now going to make it his 7th death.
So frustrating for a bounty hunter.
It basically means what Snake is currently doing, he can't, or else he dies. It really is that simple, and NaVi need him. NaVi needs Snako to be on the front lines looking around for a kill. And not having this happen where Batrider is away from every other person player of his team.
Jumps charge, chase, get more
You
kills.
know what it actually feels like? It feels like, you remember, like, it was always the sayings in Dota 1. Like, if you've got 2 braces, it's fine. If you've got 3 braces, things are in trouble. If you've got 4 braces on your team, yeah. Speaking of which, goodbye, Snako. It always feels like that. It's like, it's stats for the sake of having some kind of stats to survive.
Skip the drums.
Theorized dead. Phobos, he was the one that started off that fight on the bottom lane. Dira actually is able to TP out in time, not enough damage. Arriving from Afro Ninja, but, well, goodbye General. Wow, that's deep, Pasha. I know you got a Blink Dagger as well as a Man of Style. You end up triggering the Manta. Jumping around, Dira, here comes your spin again. Pasha's on the chase. The drum charger is triggered, but he couldn't get away. Snake will die underneath his own tier 3 tower. And with Laguna Blade, no! Enchantress still survived once again. Oh my, give this Oracle a medal. It's a triple kill for Pasha. But you just can't get anything back. Yeah, they're coming straight back to life. The game was good. If you're a Polarity fan, if you're a NaVi fan, you shall shed a tear tonight. Not only got defeated, you got defeated convincingly by Polarity. So they're still going to keep fighting until the end. Dendi, nice 3-man tornado. Looking for a little bit of work to be done. He's the only one with real net worth on his side. But what is Polarity really expending? They take out the tier 3 tower. They've still got Aegis the Immortal. Healing Ward's on cooldown for now, but Artstyle just evaporates. The Juggernaut jumps forward. Artstyle will buy back, and Polarity, there's a lot of tracks on them, but okay, they are going to give a little bit of respect and back out. Sunstrike will hit Afro, but he doesn't care. In fact, he's probably the hero on Polarity that cares the least.
Minutes into the game, and they have to expend the buyback. Not the biggest deal because it was on Alina, but at the same time, there's nothing stopping Polarity from doing that again. Just taking control of bottom, like the Radiant side of the map with their Gem, which they don't have yet, oddly enough.
Hello, Dira! Hi, Dira! What hit? The Aegis will still trigger thanks to the Treants, but you don't really care if you get a kill on the Prophet. Lil's not going to be initiated on for Pasha. Oh, they're there so quickly. Then for the Omni side, General's down, bounces to Snako. He can't go in, bitch. It's a triple kill for the Juggernaut. 31-4 in favor of Polarity.
Maybe a Phantom Lance here and there. Yep. It's like 2 minutes ago, NaVi were... They must have been like relieved that they didn't get raxed, but it doesn't make a difference.
And the game is still going to end the same way with Polarity forcing the issue, and NaVi having no real firepower or combo against it, but Denny will still give it a crack. Jumping in, Phobos. Well, that last two is still on cooldown when General jumps in, so we actually managed to bait out At least the silences and that counter initiation from the Oracle. But with one Lance General, nope, he blinks away from it. But he'll survive. And the sustain from Polarity is still real. Frost will buy back, but as he does so, he loses 2 more of his teammates. D-Ra jumps to the front lines. The spin is up there from Pasha. The D-Ra is now down. That's a dieback for him. Army slash vulnerable. Lancer does drag Pasha back way too far. So this Juggernaut will finally go down. Intendi almost gets 1,400 gold from this kill. Oracle to TP out. The Flame Break will cancel it. And the Sunstrike to finish it off. And Polarity, they actually beat kills over. Give what was like when they pulled out of the bottom lane, like I was questioning a little bit because I'm like, Polarity should still have a lot of strength behind them, but because Oracle expended so many of his wait, no. Usable into spin. He could have made a break for the tree line and just used his TP scroll. Is he actually going for a BKB in this game?
I think it's EPICENTER. Like BKB this early on Nature's Prophet, that's just asking to lose basically. He's probably gonna.
But the Axe is only gonna do something if they can defend this push. Being 2 lanes of ranks down, that's not gonna help. Also feeding off your courier in the middle of a fight is also not going to help. The Wrath of Nature kicks through. Not even much. And that creep army, a new one on the way in. Now they get the lasso. It's over on little protections, of course, there from the Oracle. That Ether Lenzi can reach so far, and Bounty mobbed up by the Omni Slash. Diddy-Ra as well. The Manasar will allow Pasha to pop out of the front into the spin, so Diddy-Ra cannot control him. And this will now actually be the game with no buybacks really available. Dendi, we saw him 1v4 Polarity around Roshan last time, but this is a 1v5, or now a 2v5 with the buyback in general. But there's no lasso. They're almost using Courier as bait here for a moment. Polarity just looked too good. And General just blinked in onto a hero who had Diffuser Blade. And they'll trigger it again. Denny will go down. GG. This game is done.
Yep. Just like some people are way too weak on NaVi right now. Like Dendi, I think, like seriously, even if he was level 25 with max slots, they might still have struggled with this game. That's how bad this situation is. Like the Nature's Prophet is a non-factor. He can't control the map against these cores on Polarity with the Night Stalker, and then Batrider. He's been kind of struggling with what kind of role does he serve in this game all game, because like he hasn't been able to do anything